Hey guys, it's me, AlanaRaihnTV. Welcome back to my channel. You guys, today's gonna be an exciting episode because we are doing a giveaway. Yes, guys, our first giveaway. I meant to do the first giveaway on episode 10, but we're gonna do it here. Guys, very first giveaway. It's nothing too much, but it's something. So the giveaway, guys, are you ready for this? Okay, the giveaway is gonna be $50 plus a custom canvas. So whoever the giveaway winner ends up being gets to choose whatever they want me to custom paint. I am an artist, guys, so I'm gonna make a custom painting for the giveaway winner plus $50. Who can't use $50 extra dollars? Gas prices are high right now. So let me tell you guys the rules to enter the giveaway. Number one, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel. Number two, you have to follow me on TikTok. You have to follow me on Instagram. One of my besties is watching me out the window right now, guys. Hi, bestie. She's so cute. So you have to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. You have to make sure you're following me on TikTok and Instagram. And comment 3 times though. You have to comment 3 times. One of those comments have to be a unicorn emoji. You can comment 2 other things, but once all of those things are done, send me a screenshot in my DMs, and I'm gonna be randomly select a winner, guys. It's gonna be fair. I'm gonna write down probably all the Instagrams that show me proof that they completed all those steps, and then I'm gonna draw a name, okay, guys? So remember, comment 3 times, one of them being a unicorn emoji, subscribe to the channel, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at AlanaRain, and once those things are done, send me a screenshot that you've done it, and you can win $50 and a custom painting. All right, guys, so without further ado, let's get into episode 11 of how I went to prison for the first and last time out the country. All right, guys, so I want to tell you guys, this is going to be within the first week or 2 of me being in this new cell that I showed you guys a picture of. So you guys remember how I told you guys about the officer, Miss Davis, and how she kind of rubbed Sativa the wrong way in the induction wing, how she walked in on her naked and was always giving attitude when it came to Sativa, right? Me and Miss Davis, we didn't have any issues. You know, I'm half Jamaican, so she was Jamaican as well. And so we kind of like had like a little bond over that, right? So I thought we was cool, right? So let me tell you what happened. Why moving forward, I looked at Miss Davis a little different because like she wasn't being a girl's girl. Let's just say that. So there was this one day, guys, when I was in my cell minding my business and Miss Davis came by, right? And let me give you some background. So when I very first got to the prison, I'm talking about the very first prison I was at before I had got roommates with Kayla, right? They would give us sanitary pads, like, you know, when you're on your girly, they give you pads and stuff like that. So I will use some of my pads to line my toilet seat because, like, you know, like we had regular toilet seats. We didn't have metal toilets. We had regular toilets with toilet seats. But I'm like, I don't want to sit on that toilet. Like, you know, so I put sanitary pads right there, whatever, right? So I had been doing that since the first prison. Even when I got to the second prison, when I was in induction wing, I would do that all the time. That was that. So of course, now that I moved into this new cell, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm putting the sanitary pads on my toilet because, yeah, like I'm just not putting bare ass to prison toilet. We're just not doing that. So there just happened to be this one day, Miss Davis walks by my cell. She opens my flap and she says, "Alana, you need to remove those pads from your toilet seat." And I'm just like, what? Like, I'm like, why? She's like, they told me you need to remove them. You just have to remove them. You have to remove them. And I'm like, okay, but like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I've been doing this since I've been in the induction wing, like, and not like that, but like that. I know so many other girls here that do that. Like, what? And then she was just like, it's a waste of pads. You need to take them off right now. Like, I'm gonna come back in 10 minutes and they better be taken off. And trust me, I'm gonna go tell Regina too, because I know that she does it too. Because basically, guys, they do room checks every day. So not room checks necessarily like flipping your bed, checking for stuff, but they'll come in, make sure the lights work, make sure the sink work, check the bars on the window to see and make sure like we ain't saw the bars off or something. I don't know. Heavy duty metal bars, but yeah, so they come in and they do that often. I have a quick story about that too later in a second after I tell you about Miss Davis. So, yeah, so basically she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell Regina too, because I know Regina has been doing that too, so I'm gonna go tell her as well. I'll be back in 10 minutes, and when I come back, they better be off your toilet seat. So I'm just like, girl. Like, so I can hear her walk down the hall to Regina's room and tell her to take the pads off. And then you just know, Regina, a little feisty self, she was like, no, I'm not taking the pads off, like, da-da-da-da. And Miss Davis was like, Regina. And so they were kind of going back and forth. And then I can hear Miss Davis say, Alana said she was going to take hers off, so you need to take yours off too. And then she was like, I don't care, like, da, 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 I'm not taking mine off. So then Miss Davis was like, is this you refusing, Regina? Because if you refuse, it's going to be worse than this. Is this you refusing? And then Regina was like, yeah, like, I'm not taking the pads off. And then she's like, okay, I'll be talking to I forget the names of the people, but I guess she was saying like she's gonna be talking to the ward or something like that, and she's gonna get in trouble, whatever. So she comes back to my cell, and I'm by the TV like just la 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 la, and then she's like, you still haven't taken them off? Like, you need to take them off right now. Like, I'm not playing. You're about to get in more trouble than you're already like, obviously we're in prison, so we're in trouble. She was like, you're gonna get in even more trouble if you don't take them off. And I was just like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, they're already there. They're already on the toilet seat. And she's like, okay, well, that's a waste of pads. That's a waste of pads. I said, how is it me taking them off and throwing them away would be a waste, right? So if them being there is not hurting nobody. I could understand if I keep asking y'all for more and more and more and more pads to put on the damn toilet seat and be wasting, but I'm not even using y'all prison issue pads that y'all keep giving me. So me throwing them away, is that not a waste? They're being used right now. Anyways, she kept making a big deal out of it or whatever, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, fine, right? So I just started ripping them off my toilet, hella irritated, start ripping them off or whatever. So once I did that, she's like, okay, thank you. And then she went on about her business. But I was just like, it was kind of her delivery as well that made me be like, dang, I thought we was cool. We ain't even cool no more. You're not the girl for real. You're not a girl's girl for real. So, oh, y'all, I missed the whole part. So before she went to Regina's room and she's telling me to take them off, I'm like, would you sit on this toilet with your bare ass? She was like, yeah. I said, see, that's y'all problem. You a lie. I said, you a lie. I said, see, like, y'all just be lying to us because you know dang well you would not sit your bare butt on this toilet. And then that's when she had ended up going to Regina and saying that she was going to come back to me or whatever, da-da-da. But yeah, I ended up taking them off because she was giving me a hard time. I wasn't even trying to get in no more trouble than I was already in. So, it's funny because, yeah, I took them off, but I ended up making like a makeshift toilet seat cover. So I basically like connected some more pads in the shape of like a toilet seat cover so that I can like put it on and take it off like whenever they would come in to like check the room or whatever. So I literally makeshift this little round reef looking toilet seat cover out of pads. So like I was able to literally like I put it on there when I needed it, take it off when I didn't type stuff, because I'm not doing it. We're not doing bare ass to prison toilet seat. All right, guys, so you know how I was telling you about how they come by every day to do the room checks, right? So when we were in the first prison in the induction wing, guys, or no, I'm sorry, when we were in the first prison and me and Kayla had ended up getting moved to be roommates. You remember that? Okay, so the first the first week that me and Kayla were there and being roommates and stuff like that, we finally had made our appointment to reception to get some of our stuff back, right? So Kayla had been wanting her coat back. She had been wanting it, this leather coat, because it had been freezing cold, right? So when she went to reception to get her stuff and get her coat, she came back upstairs and somehow, some way, as she puts on her coat, and I'm like, oh yeah, girl, that's cute. Kayla's showing me like her wigs that she got back that she had brought or whatever. Man, this girl, Kayla, she goes into her coat pocket and she must have noticed that there was a pill in there. And so I guess Kayla, it wasn't like nothing crazy, right? But Kayla does deal with like, I guess, sorry if I'm wrong, Kayla, you gotta correct me later, but something along the lines of like ADHD or something like that. So I want to say it was like Adderall or like something like that to calm her, right? So they were, side note, they were giving her stuff like that while she was there, but like very minor doses. So when she pulled this pill out of her pocket, she was just like, like they didn't search it properly. Like, so she had this pill and it was so crazy. She literally broke this pill up into like maybe like 8 parachutes. And if you don't know what a parachute is basically like you crush something. I don't want to say too much on YouTube, but you crush something and you put it in like toilet paper and like twist it, and now it's like a little, yeah. So she basically made like 8 little parachutes and she put it in a baggie and she'd take them here and there. So Kayla thought it'd be a bright idea to hide these underneath our fan that we had in the room. And so there was just this one day, right, where I told you they do room checks every day, right? So luckily I was in the room before they did this room check, but I'm in the room minding my business and I was looking for something, don't know what I was looking for. Oh, no. Okay, so I was in the room minding my business, right? And I just happened to be like cleaning up this day. So I'm like wiping stuff down and our fan is on our counter where we eat at. So I'm over here wiping the counter down. And as I lift up the fan, I said, Kayla. She wasn't in there though. I just said this to myself. I'm like, Kayla, this girl, this gotta be the dumbest, hottest spot. This is how you got here in the damn first place. Like, if this is not the dumbest, world's dumbest criminals, like, girl, why would you put them on the desk under the fan? So I did her a solid because this is my room too, and I ain't gonna get caught for nothing that ain't mine. So, well, shit, the irony, I'm not gonna get caught for nothing that ain't mine. The irony. Again, shall I say, I'm not gonna get caught for nothing that's not mine again, okay? So I take it and I put it in a tampon box and I tell her about herself when she get back because apparently the officers don't look there, whatever. So yeah, I told her, I said, girl, why would you put them right there? Crazy. She was just like, oh, like, you know, like, I thought that was a good hiding spot. I said, no, it wasn't, because like I'm not supposed to find it. Like, so that. All right, guys, so now back in current time at the second prison. So let me tell you guys about something that Regina discovered that kind of took her away from the group during lunchtime and stuff like that. And remember, lunchtime and dinner time was always in our wing, in our cell, and we would always eat dinner in my cell. So this girl then discovered guys talking through the vents. And what do I mean by talking through the vents? I'm gonna insert another image right here of exactly what I mean. So there was this day that me and all the girls were in my cell and we were eating lunch per usual. So one of the other inmates comes over to my cell and is like, for Regina, and was like, hey, Cam wants to talk to you. Cam is at the vents. He wants to talk to you. And she's like, huh? Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then, like, the girl was like, let me show you. So she walks Regina over to literally the wall. So she walks her over there, and then she's like, huh? Like, she's so confused. She's like, I'm so confused. And then the girl was like, say something. And so, and so she was like, hello? And then you hear back clear as day, hello, Regina. And when she was like, oh, Cam, she was like, Cam, is that you? Like, she's like, yeah. She's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then they just started talking as if they were on a phone call, right? You guys, this got so crazy that weeks down the line, every day they were planning to meet up at the vents. So she would be over there for the whole hour that we're free. The last ED hour that we're free, she'd be over there for the whole hour. She started bringing a chair over there, eating her lunch with the wall. Literally, she would like just we would be like, oh, where's Regina at when we're watching our movie or watching Orange is the New Black in Katie's room. Like, where's Regina? Oh, she's at the vent on a date with the wall with Cam. But literally, we walk over there, check on her from time to time, and pop in on her from time to time. And then she literally just be, yeah, no, at the wall, right? Literally at the wall every single day, laughing at the wall, cupcaking with the wall, y'all, like every single day. So some of the inmates there, right, down the line had told us, like, at first they didn't know what she was doing. They thought that she was crazy, like just talking to the wall, laughing at the wall, until like they found out what she was actually doing. They were like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like, I thought you were crazy this whole time, like laughing at the wall, because that's how it looks. You're sitting at face the wall just laughing, because from a distance you can't tell that it's a vent. You have to be straight up on it to see the holes, right? So sometimes we come in and interrupt her conversation, and Cam was very territorial. He'll be like, who are you talking to? Who's that you're talking to down there? Who's laughing? Why like, man, chill. So or I'll be like, oh, put so and so on, like Mikey. There you go. Mikey, I didn't introduce Mikey yet, and I need to, because she's also a story time in this story time. Mikey was just a part of the group of girls. So you remember I was telling you guys about Sasha and Faith. They're from the UK. They were just the part of the girls that were already in C Wing when we got there. So Mikey was also already there in C Wing when we got there. She was actually from, I think she was from LA, right? But Mikey, I don't know. Mikey was a different type of character. Like, Mikey was Mikey. Like, so she kind of did her own thing. We kind of did our own thing type thing, but she was still kind of in that group. So sometimes they'll be like, oh, like, you know, put Mikey on or whatever. And then like we'd be talking to Mikey, and Mikey be like, hey, what's up, y'all? Da, 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 whatever. So yeah, that really got out of hand. Like, so, but basically they would treat that like a phone call every single day, y'all. So I also want to tell you guys about me and Katie a little more too. So I'd say we're going on like week 2.5 of me being in the cell, this new cell. And I had met Katie on like day 3 of being there. So at this point, we're very acquainted. And like I told you guys before in that image that I showed you guys of my cell, me and Katie shared a wall. We shared a bed wall. So the wall that my bed was on was shared with Katie. And Katie's room, or her cell, looked exactly like my cell, except for it was flipped, inverted. So we both shared that bed wall. Her bed and my bed were literally next to each other. The only thing dividing them was that wall. So when she'd go to lay down on her bed, I can hear the creak of her bed through my wall, and vice versa. So I remember the first day that started us talking through the wall and realizing that we could talk through the wall. So basically what happened was I sat on the bed, and then I can hear like a lot going on in her room, like literally could basically hear everything. So I hear her sit on her bed and kind of like was moving around, right? And I was like, I wonder if I like scratch on the wall, like if she's gonna hear it and know like that I did it on purpose, right? So I was kind of contemplating doing it for a minute, but then I was like, quit being a little punk, do it. So yeah, so I was contemplating doing it, y'all. I was being all like shy and stuff, right? But I was like, fudge it, just do it. Just do it. Like, what's the worst thing ever? So I was like, okay, let me do it. So I did it. I scratched the wall like this, right? And then like I was waiting a second, like with my ear kind of by the wall. And then 1 second or like 10 seconds later, you hear like she did it back. And I was like, ah! I was like, oh my gosh. So then I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I'm just about to watch this movie. Da, da, da. What are you doing? And then like we just started talking through the wall and stuff like that. And then I was like, wow, these walls are really thin. She was like, yeah, I know. Like, this is crazy. Like, right? So from then on, that kind of started like each night that we'd go and get locked up for the night, we like kind of like tap on the wall, like that was like basically the ringtone. Like that was me calling her. I knock on the wall. So I tap on the wall, or she would tap on the wall, and then like we talk to each other, tell each other good night. Sometimes we'd even put on the same TV channel and watch like certain movies. Like I'll be like, oh, like she'll be like, what you watching? And I'll be like, oh, channel whatever. And then we'd watch the movie and be talking about the movie through the wall. Like it was like crazy. Like and so we did that pretty often or whatever like that. And this is gonna come in handy to remember, guys, because this story with Katie is about to take a 360, 180, however you want to put it, turn. Oh yeah, guys, and I do want to mention as well, to go back when I said that they did room checks every day, right? So when we are locked up, they do come by like they used to come by like every 4 hours and check us just while we were in the dark with a little flashlight, open the flap, right? But after the passing of one of those prisoners, they had ended up checking us now every 2 hours more frequently, and they would open up the flaps and turn on the lights in our room. Like, they didn't used to do that before. So it was a good thing that they did that. For the most part, it just was really annoying when you would try to get sleep and stuff like that, but I understand why they did it. But I did want to throw that part in there too. All right, so let's talk a little about a couple situations in that wing that I noticed. Okay, so I had ended up getting in a little situation with this, I would consider her a stud, but because they had different rules for transgender female to male prisoners and studs and stuff like that, like they had different rules for depending on how people identified. So I don't know whether this girl was a stud or not, but let's just, for story purposes and how this went, I'm gonna say I thought she was a stud, right? So basically there was this one time that I was in the showers, and then this stud walked in, and I'm not gonna give her a name because she's not gonna come up in the story for her no more. So yeah, so this stud basically was about to walk in, and then she was like, and mind you, I'm already in the shower. I could just see the door open and like see her head like walk in. So she's about to walk in, and she sees me in the shower, and she's like, oh, and then she backs up. And mind you, it's not just me in there. It's like me and a couple other girls in there, right? So she walks in, and then she backs up. She's like, oh, like about to back out the door. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, you're good. Like, the shower's, it's a shower open right there. Like, if you want to go in there, you're good. She was like, oh, you don't mind if I shower in here at the same time as you? I was just like, no, like, the hell, we all women at the end of the day, like, I don't give a damn. And then she was like, okay, cool, like, thanks, whatever. And so she went, she took her shower, that was cool. You feel me? That was that. So fast forward maybe like 5 days later, most to all my girls was gone either to church or to their class or something. Whatever it was a day that, maybe it was a day that I chose to stay. I think so. It was a day that I chose to stay inside, because I would usually go outside for fresh air like all the time, but sometimes I just didn't. So this particular day I chose not to go outside for fresh air. So I was able to sneak in the shower real quick, like as they were unlocking for fresh air. It was like that little 10-minute interval, 15-minute interval before they started letting people back down. Or I'm sorry, there was a 10-minute interval before they let people downstairs to outside, but then there will also be like another 10-minute interval before they start locking people back up that didn't go outside. So that was like a little 20-minute stretch right there, right? And so I say that to say this. I took that upon myself to go take a shower like people usually do. And so I went, and I was the only person in the shower. So that means that there were 4 other showers open, even a bathtub open and available if anybody wanted to come shower, right? Right. So I'm showering, boom, minding my business. And then the door flies open, and it's the stud that I was telling you guys about. And she was like, how much longer are you going to be? Like, how much longer are you going to be in here? And that's exactly how she said it. She said, like, how much longer are you going to be? I said, until I'm done. Like, I'm not in here soaking. I'm washing my 6-foot long limbs. Like 6'1" long limbs. I have long limbs, and I have a lot of hair when I choose to wash my hair. So it takes me a while to rinse off. And there's also 3 other free open showers. But what I said, this is what I said versus what I was thinking, because all the other stuff I was thinking. So she's like, how much longer are you going to be? And I was like, until I'm done. She was like, okay, well, how long is that? I said, I don't know. She's like, oh, hurry up, man. And then she slams the door. And I'm over here like, now I'm finna take my time. Because before, I was trying to hurry up, but now I'm finna take my time. Had she have came in there and was like, hey, I'm trans and I'm not allowed to shower with other women, or I'm a stud and I don't feel comfortable showering with other women. You feel me? Because I'm under the impression, since she had already showered with us and that there were 3-4 other showers open, why don't you just come in here and shower? I'm not thinking that just little old me is stopping you from showering. So I'm like, okay, now I'm finna take my time, because you didn't have to come in here on rude timing. Had she have, and maybe I'm not saying it exactly how she said it, guys, because like, again, if she have been slightly nicer, I would have been like, oh, I get it. Like, you know, she can't shower with me in here. Let me hurry up and get out. She simply was like, how long are you finna be? Like, hurry up. And I'm just like, boo, like, it's other showers in here. I'm confused. And I showered with you before in here. So what's your issue? Now I'm gonna take my time. So I took my time, and she was pissed off and was telling everybody about me, about how I take super long showers and stuff like that. She was really mad at me about that. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Okay? Because I don't care, because there were other showers available. If it was that serious, you could have went in there. I don't have, bro. I'm 6'1". She was like, I don't know, 4 foot something, 4 foot nothing, bro. You was not finna do nothing to me. I'm not worried about you. I already showered with the girl, so I wasn't the stud. I don't know, but yeah. So that rubbed me the wrong way. Had you have expressed that even in a small way, I would have understood. I would have took heed. I would have respected that, and I would have got out. But what you're not gonna do is rush me when I've only been in here for 5 minutes and my body is full of soap. Like, what did you want me to do? Did you want me to drop did you want me to drop everything, wrap up myself, and then go to my room soapy? I don't know. But so that was just that, guys. And yeah, no, it's actually kind of wild too, because if that was such an issue, I feel like there would be more coverage when it came to like the trip from the shower to back to the cell. This girl would come from the shower to the cell wrapped in her towel, and like, as with a lot of other prisoners as well, I did that too sometimes. But sometimes, you know, I of course put on like my undergarments, and then I'd wrap up, because my cell was right across from the bathrooms, so I'd go straight like that or whatever. So I'm just like, I don't know, I just didn't understand really like the difference between that and having a whole door in front of somebody. I don't know. All right, guys, so that topic actually brings me to another inmate that we had on our wing. This person that I'm about to tell y'all about was a character, to say the least. Okay, now this was not your ordinary inmate that you see in a women's prison. This person's name was TJ. Now, TJ was a transgender female to male, and basically TJ looked like a full-blown chocolate man, like full-blown beard, haircut, deep voice, flat chest. This is a man, and he was on our wing, walking up and down our wing, talking to people all aggressive. Yeah, cause like, just like, wow, like, this is a man, like, and not really a looker in my opinion, but you know, everyone's beautiful to somebody. So, but just not really something I'd look at. Very short, just whatever. It was just wild to me how much of a man he looked like a man. So TJ, by the prison, was not allowed to shower with the other female inmates, and that I can understand. I can understand that. Also, his charges as well. I don't want to get too deep into why he was there, but it was very, very sick and heartbreaking. Trigger warning. He just was being inappropriate with young females. If you guys want to look into his case on your own, I believe they made a documentary. It was called The Making of Hannah Walker or something like that. The Downfall of Hannah Walker, or The Making of Hannah Walker. I still haven't looked into that documentary because it's pretty sick. But yeah, y'all, I was in there with some crazy characters. But TJ, let's talk about TJ. TJ, for whatever reason, enjoyed seg. And seg is segregation, where they lock you in there. No outside, no nothing. You're locked into your cell for 23 hours. I think they do get 30 minutes of outside, but I think it's like every other day or something. But you're locked in your cell for 23, almost 24 hours every single day. No TV, no commentary, nothing. You're just in there by yourself. And so every week, we just wouldn't see TJ for like 4 days. We probably seen TJ maybe like 5 times, 5 days, and they're all spread out. He was in seg for a week, every week. Like, yeah. So every other week he was in there for a whole week. That's how it was, literally, right? And so some things that he would do, the officers one time was trying to come into his room because he had stole some paint. He had stole some paint to paint his room, and then the officers had like came in there trying to get it, and he like pushed the door back on the officers, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Like da 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 da. And I guess one of the officers got like slightly hurt by like him pushing the door back on them, so he got taken to seg. He likes to argue with officers. He likes to, "I'm not moving out of your way" type thing. Like there was this one time where the officer asked me if I could, like, when we were lining up for lunch, if I could like get off the stairs and wait down there. And I was like, yeah, like sure. So I walked down the stairs, and then TJ was like, "Don't let her move you. Don't let her move you. I'm going to stand right here, and you can't tell me to move." Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, it wasn't that serious. Like, I don't mind. And every prisoner, foreign national prisoner to be exact, you know, who from out the country, we were assigned a officer key worker. So this particular, and a key worker, just a side note, a key worker was an officer that would come check on you, update you with the movement of your case, ask if there was anything that they can do to make your experience better, ask if we were being treated properly, certain things like that. So the key worker will often bring us paperwork as well that had to do with our case and stuff like that. So this particular officer happened to be my key worker. So when he asked me if I could step down like from on the stairs, you know, I knew it was no harm. So I was just like, yeah, like, you know, it's no problem. So I felt really bad when TJ started going off on him, because I'm just like, dude, chill. It's not that serious. Like, you know, like we're blocking the entrance way, like, you know. So he's like, no, don't let him move you, and da 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 da. And so TJ often was into it with officers. So that's TJ, guys. So by now, guys, we're on like week 2.5. We're on like week 2.5 of being in this new cell. And so I'm kind of settled in by this point. I'd have a routine. Every morning I wake up, they unlock us at 8 a.m. I would either be going to the gym, the library, or we had different workshop programs. So sometimes I was in like an art class that they had, or because I wasn't able to get, if I'm not mistaken, I wasn't able to get in any other classes there. So it would just be a lot of gym, library, and like art classes from here and there. So basically I would wake up, put on my fit for the day. Regina would come over to my room, meet up with me. Alexis would come over to my room, meet up with us, and then we go grab Sonia, and then we go run either to the gym or to the library, depending on what we were doing. So there were times, guys, when we would go down to the gym, and this only happened twice, actually. 2 or 3 times this happened. So one of the first times this happened, let me tell you. So we went down to the gym, and it ended up being closed, right? So instead of going back up to the wing, which they would have wanted us to do, we'd do things like walk around the prison, or act like we're walking to classes, sneak into the library, stuff like that. So there was one particular time that I had snuck into the library that's actually going to be a big part of the story, but cliffhanger, I can't tell y'all that part right now. So there were just little things that we would do like that, though, just because like we was like not trying to get locked back up right away. And so we'd end up coming back up hella long later, as if we did go to the gym. So little hacks to get out of the cell type vibe. Another thing, guys, that was big around that time in the prison was Love Island. So I can't remember if it was, I think it was Love Island USA. The season that came out around February 2025. So the whole prison, guys, was on Love Island. So like when the episodes would come on for us, like we'd be talking about it in the wing. We'd be like, yo, Love Island, the new episode's coming on tonight. Did you see Harry? Did you see Chris? Or like, I forget the names of the people, but they'll be like, oh, did you see so-and-so? Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he got voted off. Like, so it would be like full-blown gossip, just like how it was here. Love Island was a big thing here in the States as well. Everyone was talking about it on social media. It was just like that in the prison, guys. Everybody was talking about it during Fresh Air, talking about Love Island, down to the finale where it was like, oh my gosh, like we can't believe so-and-so won. Like, what? Like, so that was something kind of cool. It felt like a book club almost, or like when you catching up with your homegirls about baddies when y'all have watch parties and stuff. That's kind of how it felt like. So that was something I'd say was kind of cool for like a time passer there. I do want to mention too, guys, I was so proud of myself in a sense of I have never read as many books as I've read in my life being in prison. About time I was actually released, and you know that's gonna be in a further episode, but about time I was actually released, guys, I had read like 11 books cover to cover at that point. And I'm not talking about no little books. I'm talking about 500, 600 page books from cover to cover. And I can proudly, not proudly, but I can admit, you know, with no shame, that I had never read a book from cover to cover. I've started books before, but you know, like never really finished them. So yeah, this was the first time in my life that I finished, let alone one book. I read 11, and I discovered that I actually really like reading, guys. And it's actually, just rock with me real quick, y'all. I want to get to the juicy stuff, but let me have some real talk with y'all real quick, okay? I feel like reading is not, I never understood why reading was so interesting. I'd be like, why are people reading? Like, that seems so boring. I was always that type of person until I realized how reading really does exercise your mind. And there's things in books that can legit make you millionaires, can legit make you have a better life. Like, when you read things, you're able to interpret it in your own brain how you want to understand it, or how you see it, how it works for you. I feel like when you're showed like a video of something, like a YouTube video, how to do so-and-so, whatever, because that's usually how it was. Like, I want to watch more visual learner, right? But I feel like you're kind of being talked at in a certain way, in a certain cadence, in a certain, and then you don't really receive it fully to the full potential of how you could have. And I just feel like when I was reading, you guys, I felt so personally touched and just moved. And I felt like I was just gaining so much knowledge, you guys, so much useful knowledge. I was reading books like How to Get Rich, how to a lot of Jen Sincero books, a lot of Sister Soldier books, and Sister Soldier books are really good. If you guys have not read those, I super recommend those. But a lot of self-help books. What was that one? A lot of manifestation books, you know, how to manifest your life, how to make $1 million a million times, like things like that, guys. But I learned so much there, and I really started to plan out and map out my whole, like when I got back home, how that was gonna go. Because I feel like in that 4 months of me being in prison in total, guys, it was a reset like no other from the Matrix. That was the longest that I've ever been off of my phone since I got a phone. And I got my first phone when I was 9 in 4th grade. That was the longest that I had ever went without Mary Jane, without liquor, without, you know, scrolling social media, without a lot of different things, without being in a moving car, guys. That was the longest in my life that I had ever went without all of that. So I feel like it was a real reset and a real break from the Matrix that I needed. Like, I needed that to take me out the Matrix, to separate my hobbies from my career. Because I feel like as a creator and as a creative, to be more specific, there's a lot of things that I wanted to do for money. Like, whether it was my nails, my art, my murals, my fashion clothes design. I do custom clothes, my custom shoes that I was doing, tattoos, all of that different stuff, right? And I just, with all the books that I read, I came to a conclusion that I cannot be fully successful in one thing if I'm giving 7 things 25%. If I'm giving 25% of these 7 things, I won't be pouring my full potential into any of them. So I realized like that is so true. So I had to make a list separating my hobbies from what I wanted my career to be. And ultimately, I came down to the decision that I wanted my main focus and my main career drive to be mural paintings and influencing. So with murals, of course, like, you know, like I want to do big pieces everywhere, but also a part of that is my influencing, like showcasing me doing murals, giving murals away, making YouTube content, doing all this stuff that I want to do. And down the line, I want to be a philanthropist. You know, I want to be able to do bigger giveaways. So we started small with this giveaway in this video, guys, but I want to do big, huge giveaways, okay? I want to be able to give away houses, cars on a big scale. Like, so I just felt like this time was really needed for me to sit down and wake up call, like really focus and lock in on my true passions and what I truly wanted to do with my life. So although it was very unorthodox and a very scary time in my life, I felt like I truly needed that, and God was sitting me down. So I do want to mention that to you guys. All right, guys. So let's get back into the juicy stuff. All right, guys. So in my time there as well, I feel like I started to learn so much new lingo, y'all. The lingo that they use being from the UK was so funny to me. Like, and some of it was also the same as Canadian lingo. So like Regina's from Canada, Bianca's from Canada. So they'd say things like bear, like it's like how if you're from the Bay, we say hella. Like we be like, it's hella people in here. Like it's hella people in here. They'll be like, it's bare people in here. Like it's bare people. I'm like, what? Like that sounds crazy to me. That sounds weird. Like it's bare people. Like, yeah, like I say bare money to go to on this trip. Like what? Like I just be like, yeah, I saved hella money to go on this trip. Like, so that's one thing that I heard there that was weird. Another one that was UK only that they said that threw us for a loop was, are you taking a piss? And that's like us in the US being like, are you joking? Are you being serious? Like they'll be like, are you taking a piss? Like what? Where, like, who comes up with that stuff? What's something else they were saying? I can't really think of too many. That's crazy. I need to tap in my UK friends and have them give me another rundown. But they had another one where, like, for us, if we see somebody that look good, we'd say like, oh, like they're fine, they're handsome, they're beautiful, they look good, like nice shape, whatever. Like in the UK, they'll be like, oh, she's fit. Oh yeah, he's fit. Like, oh yeah, I seen you and I thought like, yeah, she's fit. Like, and I'm just like, for us, fit means like fit, like, you know, strong, toned, muscle body, they're fit, they're in shape, right? But that was their, oh, you fine, like you fit. Like, okay, I just remembered another one. So like they call like they projects the ends. So like if I were to think about my hood and stuff like that, where I grew up at, we have like the jets, the jungles, the projects or whatever. Theirs is called the ends. So that's all I got for y'all for now when it comes to lingo. Okay, so this is just like a quick little side note, but this just goes to show how thin all of these walls were. So do you guys remember how I told you the sink wall that I shared was with Judith? So Judith's shared wall was with Regina. So Regina is a person and some change down the hall from me, right? But there would be times that I would hear Regina on the phone, and I wouldn't just hear Regina on the phone, right? Regina might as well have been in my room talking at like a level 8 or 9, because most nights we just hear Regina, no, shut the fuck up, you stupid ass She be cussing somebody out in the most flirty way I've ever seen. Like, she'll be like, you're stupid as fuck. I fucking hate you. Like, I'm like, what is she arguing or are they cupcaking? I don't understand. But I'd ask her about it the next day. I'm like, girl, who was you talking to? Like, and I'm telling Cam, like, not for real. But I'm just like, who are you talking to, girl? You was cupcaking. She'll be like, oh, like you heard me? Yes, I think the whole wing heard you. And I'm not even being funny. Katie has said that she be hearing her talk on the phone at night and all that stuff too. Girl, she was like, but yeah, so I took that into heed. Like, I was like, ooh, when I'm talking about certain stuff, because I would call my best friend and be giving her the tea. I'm like, when I'm talking about certain stuff, I need to really be quiet. Especially when I'm giving her the tea on Katie, because Katie is right next door to me. Like, but yeah, guys, we can definitely hear them phone calls. And my girl Regina she was loud with it. Like, but okay, not too much on my girl. All right, guys. I definitely saved the best topic for last, in my opinion. Yeah. So, let me tell you guys about the shift in me and Katie. So, like I said, we were very flirty, spending a lot of time together, watching the show together in her room, whatever. So, there was this inmate that moved onto our wing, and I'm not going to use her real name for this, guys, so let's call her TT. So the new girl TT, she came on the wing, very spunky girl, white girl. She was missing some teeth, but she seemed younger. Like, she seemed like she was like early 30s. She was giving, oh, this is actually a really good comparison. She was giving the UK version of Bad Baby. Like, she was like singing Nicki lyrics, and then when she would see me and Regina and Alexis, she would be like, hey girl, hey, and we'd be like, the heck? So this girl came onto the wing, and she was really fond of, I guess, being friends with Katie. So her and Katie became friends. They started talking a lot, joking a lot, and Katie started hanging out in her room and stuff like that. And then we started watching Orange Is the New Black, like less and less. But me, Alexis, and Regina, not really so much Regina because she would have a date with the wall, but me, Alexis, and Sonia, we were really into Orange Is the New Black. So because we had never seen it before, so Katie had started letting me borrow her CD player, and so I would take it into my room, and she let me borrow Orange Is the New Black, and we'd still have the movie nights in my room and stuff like that, while Katie was sorry Katie, but while Katie was somewhere running off with TT. So this was such like high school. Again, I'll mention it's like high school all over again, guys. So basically, like, there would be times when Alexis would peep certain things with TT and Katie, and then she would come over and tell me, like, girl, I'll be like, what? She'll be like, I just seen Katie hug TT and she grabbed her butt. And I was like, what? She did what? I said, oh, hell no. And then there would be times when, like, TT just got out the shower, but instead of going to change in her room, she'll go change in Katie's room, or like TT will already be in Katie's room, and then Katie will come out the shower in a towel and go in her room. I'm like, oh, you guys are, like, so I was like fake in my feelings, like, y'all, like, I wasn't for real in my feelings, for real, because I was like, we're in prison, like, this is not for real or nothing, but I was like fake in my feelings, right? So just keep that in mind. This was like days of this, like days going on a week and a half of this, mind you, right? So there just happened to be this one particular day where me and Alexis were outside, and it was just only me and Alexis. I don't know where Regina or Sonia was at the time. So me and Alexis, we sitting outside on the tables that we usually sit at, just me and her. We talking, whatever. And at a table nearby was Faith, Sasha, and you remember the girl that I said that we met in the library, named Renisha, that was gonna come back around? Yeah, remember that. So Renisha was there, and a couple of other girls were there as well. So like a couple of Renisha's friends were there too, or whatever. So I had seen this girl, Renisha, before, but like, again, she was like some type of some type of Arabian, like really light skinned Arabian culture that like I can't pinpoint her race, like maybe Lebanese or something, right? I'm not too sure. But I just noticed, like, like pretty girl, whatever. She looked like a STEM, like tomboy kind of, but pretty girl, right? Long curly hair, whatever. So, I want to say, okay, that's what happened. Okay, so there was this other girl in the prison. Rewind. There was this other girl in the prison. Super nice girl. I'm not even going to give her a name. Or actually, we'll give her a name. We'll call her Tay. Super nice Hawaiian, Polynesian girl named Tay. I'm talking about the sweetest of sweethearts. Sometimes Tay would be sitting down in the corner by herself, like really sad. And then like me and Alexis, we'd go talk to her and stuff like that, figure out what was wrong with her. And sometimes she'd tell us and mention to us that certain people were bullying her. And like we don't do bullies. So like a lot of times, like we big up Tay, like, Tay, don't worry about that. Next time she says this to you, like, you need to like stand up for yourself, girl. Don't let that girl run over you. Like, and then oftentimes we'd go walk past the girl with Tay to let the girl know, like, don't play with don't mess with Tay, like that's not cool, like whatever, right? So actually there was this time, right, the girl that was bullying Tay, right, there was this time when me and my girls, we were in the gym, and then the girl that was bullying Tay had ended up walking into the locker room, and we were all in the locker room at the same time. The girl that was bullying Tay was in there too, right? Bigger girl, right? She said something to me along the lines of like, maybe like, oh, like you're so beautiful, oh, like what do you mix with, or something she said to me, right? And I was just like, oh, thanks. And then she was like, oh, something. I was like, like I heard some things about you and I'm not too fond of it. And then I just walked out, left her on silent mode. She was like, okay. And so, yeah, that's just what it was. Like, girl, I'm not gonna entertain your conversation. Like, you're a bully. I'm not here for it. So, that was the moment. Anyways, Tay had ended up telling us, and this is actually like such a bad segue to what I'm about to tell you guys, but I mean, don't shoot me. So anyways, Tay had expressed to me and Alexis that she had a huge crush on somebody, and she finally stepped out of her comfort zone and wrote this girl a letter. And so me and Alexis, we're like, you go girl, like go girl. And she kind of read us a little bit of like how the letter went. And then she told us who the girl was. And we're like, oh, who's the girl? And she says, Renisha. And this, how do I put this? Tay is a sweetheart. By all means, she's a sweetheart. But you ever see two people and you just know that they're just not going to work together? Like, let me give you an example, right? Because I'm not God. Anything could work. By all means, shoot your shot, right? But let me give you an example. Okay, so let's say Tay for the story time purposes, Tay's gonna be Rolly. You guys know Rolly for baddies. Tay don't look nothing like Rolly from baddies at all. And many can say Rolly is a baddie, like she's pretty, but let's just say you see Rolly, and then let's say Renisha is Kaylani. There you go. This is perfect. Rolly and Kaylani, okay? They can do what they do. You just wouldn't expect to see Kaylani with a Rolly, and you wouldn't expect to see Rolly with a Kaylani. So when Tay was telling us who she was talking about, we were like, oh, okay. Like, shoot for the stars. You feel me? Like, do your big one. And so that was just that, right? So back to the day that I was telling you that me and Alexis were sitting outside on the table by ourselves, and then a table away was all the other girls sitting with Renisha. So Alexis calls Renisha over to ask her a question. So Alexis goes, Renisha, she's like, Renisha. And then Renisha looks, and then Alexis goes like this with her finger, like, come here. And so Renisha comes over, and then she's like, me? She's like, yes. And then she's like, oh, she said, oh, okay, so I heard, someone has a crush on you. And then she's like, oh yeah, like who? And then she was like, the girl who wrote you a note, da 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 da. And then she's like, trying to figure out like who she's talking about, and so she kind of elaborated a little bit more about who she was talking about. And then she was like, oh yeah, she's sweet, and then she was like, whoa, like you're not gonna talk to her? She was like, she's like my friend, she's a good friend. Like I told her like that she'd probably be better off just as my friend or whatever. And then she's like, oh okay. She was like, oh and mind you, my gaydar works. So I'm over here like I could smell it coming off of her. But Alexis, on the other hand, has never dealt with females before, so she did not get this from Renisha. So before Alexis asked this other question, I do want to mention when Renisha came over, because Alexis was like, come here like this. Renisha was like, oh, you can't be. She was like, oh, I thought you were about to say something else. She's like, you can't be calling me over there like this. I'm too gay for that. She's like, I'm too gay for that. You can't be calling me over there like this. And then she was like, Alexis was like, what? Like she was taken back. Like she didn't think that Renisha liked girls. So she's like, what? She was like, you like girls? And she was like, well, I mean, like, is it not obvious? Like, and then I was like, I could tell. And then Renisha was like, to Alexis, she was like, yeah, like, do you like girls or whatever? And then Alexis was like, oh no, I don't do that. Yeah, no, I'm straight. I don't do that or whatever, right? And so she was like, oh yeah, she was like, I figured that. I was just asking, like, I could kind of tell you don't like girls. And then like she looked at me and she was like, oh, but I could tell you like girls. And then like I was just like dang, like I look so girly, mind you. I'm the girliest tomboy you'll ever meet. So I was just like, huh? Like, where'd you get that from? Right? But I didn't say that. So she's like, but I can tell you like girls. And then right after she said that, as I'm kind of like having my moment, right after she said that, she's like, or maybe I'm just wishful thinking. I was like, oh, is she flirting with me? Was it? Oh, is she flirting with me? Because that was a little flirty, right? And I was like, oh yeah, like I like men and women, like. And she was like, oh, like, she was like, she said something else very flirty or whatever. And I was just like, ooh, like this girl's flirting with me, right? So that night, okay, let's just fast forward a little bit, right? So that interaction happened or whatever, and then I was kind of looking at her like, like, girl, okay, I didn't see you before, but that energy made me kind of see you now. And then so we went back up that for the rest of the day or whatever, and then we had our lunch like usual. And then so during our last final hour of ED, me, Alexis, Regina, and Sonia were talking about it, and we're chilling for ED or whatever like that, whatever. I was looking for Katie, and Katie had ended up being in TT's room. So I was like, not Katie in TT room. And so I made a joke to Alexis. I was like, you know what? I was like, since she's spending all this time with TT, I'm finna go push up on Renisha tomorrow. I was like, watch, I'm finna go kick it with Renisha, like, since she want to be with TT, being petty, right? So the next day rolls around, fresh air comes around, and all the girls, we all go outside, and now all the girls are together at the table with all of Renisha's friends and stuff like that, like, but we're standing, like, mind you, Renisha and all her friends, they're already all sitting at the table. There's probably like 2 more seats around this round table that's available on the bench, right? And it just happened to be, I want to say, raining a lot around that time. So the benches were wet. And so sometimes people would bring plastic bags to sit out there, whatever. So we had already been comfortable linking up with the group or whatever. So we are coming outside. We already see Renisha and her friends seated, and we walk over there. Now, so we're standing up around the table. And in my head, I was like, I want to sit on her lap, like in my head, right? But that's just in my head. I'm not that bold, right? So I was like, oh, like, dang, like I want to sit, but the chair is all wet and stuff. And she was like, well, my lap is always available if you want. Oh, you ain't saying nothing but a word, bro. I must have took my little self to my homegirl that was standing right there next to her. Move, bitch. So like I had literally took myself over there and sat right on her lap. And then I don't know nor care if she was joking or not. I seen my window of opportunity and I took it. Okay, so I'm sitting on her lap for the whole exercise period, or the whole fresh air outside period, which was like 30 minutes that day, maybe an hour. Regardless of the matter of fact, I was sitting there the whole time, and she's sitting there like with her hands like straight down, like come to find out down the line, she's over here like, I wanted to grab your butt so bad, but I was trying to be respectful, because like that was like the first day that we were really like close like that. So she just had her hands down by her side, and she like would frequently check in from time to time, like, are you okay? Like, are you still comfortable? And I'll be like, yeah, are you good? She was like, oh yeah, I'm good. Oh yeah, I'm good. And I'm like, okay, cool. So so boom. Cam and Regina are sitting to the right of me, right? So then I start to see Katie walking by. So Katie walks by, right? But it doesn't look like she's looking or anything. So she was kind of doing like a back and forth walk, right? So she walked by, but then that means that she has to walk back. So I guess as she's walking back, Cam, which is Regina's boo, was like, oh my gosh, Lala. And I was like, what? She was like, the look that Katie just gave you. I was like, what she do? And then he's like, she just looked over and then double took and was like, what the fuck? And like kind of just like kept the pushing walking. And I was like, did she? Oh, like petty, being hella petty, y'all. So I was like, mission completion. But I did not expect for me and Renisha to turn into what turned from me and Renisha. So I'm gonna leave you guys right there, and in the next episode I'm gonna tell you how crazy it got between me and Renisha, and where me and Katie went from there, and some other crazy things, guys. I might even tell you guys about the fight that Sonia had, and when I say fight, I mean boom, boom, boom. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, guys, make sure you enter my giveaway. You have to be subscribed to the channel, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at AlanaRain. Comment 3 times down below. One of the comments will be a emoji of a unicorn. Once you've done all those things, guys, screenshot the proof that you are following me, send it to my DM, and I will be choosing a giveaway winner. The giveaway winner will win $50 and a custom canvas painting by me, anything of your choice. And the giveaway winner will be announced in episode 13. So this is episode 11. Stay tuned for episode 12. And again, the giveaway winner will be announced in episode 13. So you guys do have about 4 days to a week to enter the giveaway. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Thank you so much again for tuning into the video. And with that being said, I love you guys so much. Have a great one. Bye. Go trim, cut it, get it on film. 4 course meal, she ate up the drip. She wanna go through that, yeah.